So today we're going to be talking, really just all about buyers in general, but sort of obviously with everything that's happening, we're going to kind of focus on value propping when we're talking with a buyer, which could, potentially down the road mean we need them to sign an agreement to pay us for representing them. What can we do different? How can we stand out? What can we how can we show all our value to them? And it's not a surprise. There's no secret that we have a lot of value to them. But if we don't know how to present it, how to, show them, how to tell them, everything we can do. It's really, there's zero difference between this and a listing presentation. We know we cannot just walk into a house and just wing it and just start talking to them without some sort of preparation and think we're going to get that listing. So that's kind of the idea of, where we are now with making sure, we're prepared. So I'm going to kind of be in several different places, but I'm going to end up in Moxie Present because it's really, it's an awesome tool. It will help you stand out. It builds a great presentation for you to share with your client. But how can we customize it? What do we want into that buyer Moxie presentation? So I'm actually going to start in Leverage. Of course, this is where we get to Moxie as well. But I'm going to start with showing you guys where to find the buyer presentation that ERA has created for you. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to stop my video just because I'm going to be all over the place. So I'm going to go to, so of course, log into Leverage, and I'm going to start in marketing. And, obviously we've done sessions on this marketing tab. It's an awesome tab, but I'm going to actually go to presentations. So if I scroll down to presentations, and listing presentations are right there. I'm going to scroll down, and now you're going to see buyer presentations. And we're going to use this classic template. So I'm just going to hit view and download. And again, if you have not seen this, really an awesome page with just a ton of things that you can build yourself, print, use as PDFs. But you're going to see if I scroll down, there's an agent marketing. So right below the property marketing, that's kind of extended out. If I hit agent marketing, you will see buyer's presentation. So I'm going to hit that buyer's presentation. If you want one in Spanish, it's available. I'm going to hit this English one. And now you'll see that you have an option to do a horizontal one or a vertical one. So it doesn't matter, whichever is your preference. I like the vertical for when it comes into Moxie Present. So I'm going to click this one. But if you want to build that other one, it's obviously completely fine. So now this, let me scroll to the top of this. So now this is something, obviously I haven't done a thing to this. You log in here, you get to this point. This is everything that ERA has built for us. So I'm going to just take a second and just scroll down and just show you. Obviously there's instructions on, kind of how to start maybe editing this. But if you scroll down, finding your new home, obviously we know it's geared towards buyers. And then there you'll see insert name, insert logo. Well, it's made for you to customize, to your brokerage. So ERA, so this page right here, 10 steps to buying a home, like do buyers actually know that, we don't just walk up to the house and it just magically becomes theirs? What's the process? So it immediately starts with slides that are valuable for us to understand, and of course for our buyers to understand. Like it is not just one step, and I do a lot of work for you. I make sure you're prepared to buy. I make sure we find the right house. I negotiate on your behalf. I handle things after an offer is accepted. That there's a lot involved. So, and then why use a real estate agent? And again, I'm not going to go through every page. You guys can go in there and and check this out, and of course download it. but there are, 26 pages of info. So, once we get to past this page, you're going to see, and this is totally up to you, how many of these pages you want for yourself. But there are pages that are meant to be customized for you. So there's one, experience, number of buy sides closed, search time. There are pages for you to update, and you can have one page about you, or you can have 10 pages about you. Sometimes it might depend on how long you've been an agent, how many homes have you sold, have you listed more or bought, represented buyers more. It'll vary for everyone, but the more info, this is not the place to not want to brag about yourself. I don't care if you had a lot of experience, buying and selling, or you're new. Like we definitely want to find a lot of info to put in here about yourself. That it could go just strictly that you're very familiar with the community, that you're involved with the community, that you do a lot of charity work. I mean, it can be just anything you want to help show this potential client, as we kind of want to think of it, who you are, why they should work with you, and potentially why they should sign an agreement to only work with you, and maybe pay you if it came down to that. So we actually have to show that value. And there's zero chance we can just expect it and be like, well, I'm going to help you find the right house and wing it. We need to be prepared for this. So, and there are 26 pages all the way down this, down through here. Again, some that are prepared and ready to go, and some that you want to tweak. And you'll see now I'm in the point where, these are all prepared for us. And it just helps us show our value. So what you want to do with this after you check it out, is really you want to just download it. So I'm actually going to download it. And now what it is it's waiting for you to open it up in like Microsoft PowerPoint and make it your own. So I'm actually going to do that. And I'm going to need you guys to sort of just tell me. Sometimes this is weird about actually being able to see that. Okay, can someone just let me know? Can you see that in PowerPoint?
No.
I see it.
Oh, I got a yes and a no. That's weird. All right, so I'm just going, give me a second. I'm just going to stop sharing and then reshare. And it's just kind of weird how sometimes that shows up and how sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, I don't see it.
Yeah, no, let me try to. All right, is that better?
I see it now.
Now it's in PowerPoint. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I'll probably have to do that several times because when you switch screens in Zoom, sometimes it keeps the screen share and sometimes it doesn't. So okay, so now I am in PowerPoint, which is just a Microsoft product, and I can start editing this, and I will need to edit this. So what the first thing. So I'm going to get to this page right here, and it says insert name and insert logo. Obviously, I either need to delete this page or I need to update it because I don't want to show up to someone's house or send this to them and have it look like this. So, and I'm going to give you a 2-second little thing on PowerPoint. If where this says insert name, I am just clicking my mouse, and you'll see a box came up, and I'm just going, and you can start updating this. And it's really that simple to to insert logo. So, and if you're not familiar with this, most of I think maybe all of our office coordinators are very handy in this type of stuff. But, I'm just going to, show you one change on here, just so hey, yes, we can change this stuff. Of course, you would think I actually had my logo saved in a certain spot. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, there's one. I'll just use Cape. So inserted it. Of course, I'm going to adjust this quick. I'm going to click this and delete it. And then I'm just going to move this here. So that's just one piece, and then of course, I changed the name. So let me just do that. So then we at least have one page that's complete. So I did one page by clicking that box, obviously putting my name in, having my logo in there. And what I want to do is go down here. So when I get to this page, insert headshot. Of course, you want to have this page done, your biography. So you copy and paste that in there. And then whatever stats you can, put in here. But again, like I said before, if I get to this page and, either please add the numbers if you want to. Otherwise, we need to delete it. So, and you can just delete pages as you go. So the idea is, go through this and make sure you've updated as many pages as you want to, or deleted them. So then you have kind of a base PowerPoint for your buyers, and you can add pages in here. So so I just did insert, and I can add a new slide, and and it's just, figures I tried to do that too much. Let me just do it here. So I added a blank slide. If I wanted to do anything on this slide, just type something, share something, put photos of the houses I've sold, anything I wanted, I can do that. So kind of get this piece done, all the way down through, delete what you want, add what you want, make sure you update the pages. And then we're just going to save it.
Hey, Wayne, can I ask a question real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so on the pages that say industry, are those actually current numbers, or do we need to update the industry section as well?
Anything that's an ERA page is updated.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, let's, I guess I don't, I'm going to make a note, Julia, because it is a good question. Let me verify how often they update, but
Okay.
my guess is that they, certainly yearly, if not more often.
Okay.
But let me just double check with Aaron at ERA to, just to verify that. But I know what's in there is correct, up to date, is at least once a year for sure. So, and that's kind of what we go by, in general. So,
right. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure if that was something we had to plan on updating while we were in there or not.
No, those ERA pages. So so your stats, if there's any pages that talk about MLS stats, things like that, then of course those are the ones that we want to update.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. So now, just so you guys can see, I'm going to save this PowerPoint, and obviously name it what you want. I just did a test. So there's really two ways you want to save this. So if I save it right now, you'll see it's save as type PowerPoint presentation. That means I'll be able to go back in there and do anything I want to it. I can go back in there tomorrow or a year from now and kind of what Julie was talking about, update my stats. I can do it, 6 months from now, whenever. So make sure you save it as a PowerPoint, just again, so that it's there for next time. But what I'm going to do is, because we're going to actually look at bringing this into Moxie Present, I'm actually going to save this as a PDF. So a PDF, obviously everyone I'm sure knows, is just a hard copy of this presentation. So that's what I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to save it in documents. So this is still available for me, but I've saved a hard copy of it, to share with folks if I wanted to. If I just wanted to share this, it's available to share with them. And the PDF would allow them to view it without having PowerPoint. So that's kind of another advantage. But what I'm going to do, like I said, is we're going to actually go back into Moxie Present now and kind of play with that and see what we can, see what else we can do with it. And just so you know, this is kind of one of those, maybe it needs to be a project for you. And I say that just because, some folks are, I just want it done in like 10 minutes. And I get it because I'm kind of the same way. But let me just stress the fact that doing this presentation and doing it right the first time will last you for years and years to come. Like, and then all you got to do is just change 1 or 2 pages. So kind of doing it right now will set you up to, to work with buyers for years to come. And just, you'll know the presentation, you'll have practiced it some, you'll be able to just spew it off without having to look at the slides, things like that. So if you can do it in an hour, do it in an hour. If it's gonna take you 10 hours to do, take the 10 hours. Just say, hey, look, I want this done by the end of April, and work on it an hour a day. Whatever that takes, just kind of focus on, I want to do this and I want to do it right, because this is something I'm going to I want for I want for me to be able to present to my buyers my value. So whatever that entails, I just kind of wanted to, kind of stress that with you guys, that, this is one of those things that is super important. It always has been, but, obviously now even more. So I have that. And of course, I am going to stop sharing. And I am going to reshare. So I can get. All right, so I am actually going to come back to leverage. So now I've kind of checked out my buyer presentation. Even if you have one of your own. So I know some agents that have kind of built their own, and maybe you take the info from the ERA one and you want to kind of make it your own. You have somebody that can help you, or you want to design it to look different. Like, whatever you want to do is completely fine. But right now we have a presentation, and I kind of want to just show you guys, yes, we can use that one from ERA. Like I said, you can send that as a PDF. It's going to be more than a lot of other agents are doing. So, and that's kind of our first thought process is, well, I need to stand out, because if I'm going to, if I want a client, if I want someone to to become a client, I need to show value to them, buyer, seller, anyone. So, what can I do? What can I show them? What can I talk about? What can I present to them that, they sort of go, wow, I've never seen that before. I didn't know that, the last agent just did this. So that's kind of the thought process of taking what we just did and kind of taking it to the next level. So what I'm going to do is go to Agent Tools, and you'll see MoxieWorks here. So now we're going to actually click on that and get into MoxieWorks. And please, if anyone has any questions whatsoever, either throw it in chat, or please just unmute yourself and just, interrupt me, because I definitely would want to, answer anything as we're going here. So again, all 4 parts of Moxie, we're going to actually go into Present. And I'm going to go to Create New in the upper right-hand corner, the little bit of a light blue, Create New. These are the presentations that I can build. So I actually have 2 options here. So this non-listing is really just a completely blank presentation. There's just your introduction page there's a first and last page with your info on it, and it's blank in between. So you can use that and, just build whatever you want. But I'm going to kind of start taking it to the next level and click this buyer one. And I'll show, when you see it, if you have not kind of used this buyer one before, you'll kind of see like, the pages that are in there and the pages we want to add. And then we're going to kind of build this presentation like it's really going to stand out. So I'm going to just, say yes, buyer, and I'm going to leave all the pages in there for now. We always have to label it, and you'll see I use a lot of tests. So I'm going to use test 3 now, and I'm going to create it. So now this is, again, just a reminder, all of Moxie, all 4 parts of Moxie are directly connected to the MLS. So that little piece where it thinks for a second, it's actually gone to the MLS, and now we're literally connected and just waiting for us to kind of do that next step. So if you want to, you can always upload a new image. So I'm going to do it just because it's kind of annoying when it's always just dark when I get to that page. So this is actually, I believe, I just grabbed a picture, but that's our Cleveland Rocky River office. Actually, a nice picture. So I'm going to leave that there. But if you have a picture of, you can literally do anything, of a house, of just a nice background, a picture of Cincy. You could get to the point where you put your client's picture in there, if you have one. So, definitely some things you can do there, but, or I'll show you that you can just delete that page. No issue there. So if you want to, you can search for a contact in your database and sort of connect it to them. You don't have to, but if you just start, typing a name, there'll be one of your contacts that come up. So again, you don't have to at this point because we're just starting to build it. If you actually kind of wanted to tune into an area, so let's say you're building it for Julia, and Julia's looking in OTR in Cincinnati or on the beach in Fort Myers, wherever, you can kind of start this search. Otherwise, I'll show you on the next page, you can start from scratch. And you can start do a start. So there's just some things here that you can use to get started. But besides the picture, I'm going to leave it blank, and you'll kind of see that we can update it after this. And one time you'll do one, you might leave that blank. The next time you do one, you might make it customized. In remarks, you can just add a spell. So sorry, I can't have it just not spelled right. There we go. So, so whatever you put in there, hey, I built this, you can do a little description of, what it is, for your potential client or sometimes actual client. But again, whatever you put in there. So now I'm going to hit continue. And before I do it, I'm going to actually come back to this. But right now, what I can actually do is go to the MLS and actually start finding properties for this potential buyer. They're looking for, up to 400,000, if it's OTR or more, if you're looking on the beach in Florida, whatever data to this point for you, your buyer, you can actually do this search. But like I said, I'm actually going to come back to this because what I want to start with is the presentation that we actually built already. So I'm actually, if you'll just follow me, so right at this page, I'm actually going to skip ahead, and you'll see where it says pages 12. I'm actually going to click that button, and you'll see that we actually have we didn't do any of these pages because we skipped them, but we actually kind of have a presentation built right at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a page. So you can do this a single page, or you'll see that we're going to actually bring in all 26 pages that we just created with the ERA list buyer presentation. So I'm going to hit create new, and you'll see it says build a page. which I'll show you that even when we're going to take it to the next step. Otherwise, it says, look, upload PDF page or pages. So I'm going to click that. And now it just says choose file. So I saved this PDF. And now I just need to go find it. And I did this test one right here. And I'm going to open it. And now, look, you want to make sure you click this. And we are recording this. So if you're kind of, when you're maybe ready to do this, you'll be able to rewatch this. So I'm going to call it My Pages. You can change that name if you want to. See this section right here, enable page editing. I want to click that. And then I'm going to hit upload. And this will take a second. And I kind of want it to, I was thinking I could have one done, but kind of want to just show you guys the whole process. So while we have like probably a minute here, does anyone have any questions? All right, next question is, does anyone at this point have, or have they used some sort of buyer presentation to date?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
I mean, really, yeah, really most haven't. So I appreciate you, John. Like it's just, yeah, and Diva says no. Yeah, it's just, it's just one of those things. Like, we've shown value, and we kind of show value as we're going with the buyers. But the realistic part now is we're going to have to show value for them, or potentially show value for them to sign a piece of paper that says, this is kind of how it's going to work, and we need them to sign it. So, or we want them to sign it. So,
Wait.
yes.
So would the idea would just be like a listing where we would show them this, and then right after that they're signing the buyer's agreement?
Yeah, really. I mean, what we've always said is, you really should have a buyer consultation. So, we get a call or a text or whatever, and they say, hey, 123 Main Street came on the market. I want to see it. And it's true for all of us, 9 out of 10 times, you schedule it and you meet them there 3 o'clock this afternoon, whatever, and then, of course you always have we have an agency disclosure. I'm in New York when I sell. So I have an agency disclosure in the very first point of, the very first interaction, you have them sign it and you say who you represent. So, so I always, that's a need. But now, now it's like, here's this other form that says, you're only going to work with me, or when we find the right house, this is my compensation and you're going to pay it. We don't quite know how it's going to, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So having a consultation will be more important than ever, where we meet at the office, we, go over everything, and then, then present some paperwork for them to sign, hopefully showing the value. So, instead of sitting down and going through a presentation to say, hey, can I have a listing? We're going to say, hey, here, this is everything I'll do for you. This is how I'm going to represent you and protect you and do everything I can to find you the right house at the, whatever, can I have your business? And then, then we're signing stuff. So exactly what you said, John.
Yeah, because I would always meet with them. I just never necessarily went through a specific thing and had them sign something on the buyer side,
Yeah, yep, exactly. So that it's just potentially going to be more important than ever that we do, or we need to, plain and simple. We can't, we're not going to be able, if we have a client that is, we're going to see 123 Main Street and there's no buyer compensation, no buyer agent compensation, unless we're going to go start showing houses for free, we need to have a conversation with our, with our client or potential client before we show a house that, yeah, how am I going to get paid? I mean, that's kind of where we're leaning towards. So.
And did they talk about it all? If, like in that scenario you just said, we would have a buyer's agreement for just one house, like?
I mean, I mean, obviously it's still all, I wouldn't, I would, I plan on selling myself and everything I can offer them,
Right.
in having an agreement that says, I mean, maybe a time frame like a listing agreement, maybe like, for the next year, that type of thing. But, I'm gonna, my goal would be to have it wide open, so that they don't just tomorrow, go to another house. So really it's the, we have one now that says, hey, you're only going to use me, period. And if you actually buy something else, you're still going to owe me. So we kind of have that agreement with just the buyer representation. So now it's, now there'll be maybe a piece that says, no matter what we're going to buy, my fee is this 1%, 3%, whatever. So that's kind of lingering out there with obviously a ton of questions and no one really knows. But why not learn how to represent buyers and value prop with buyers now? Anyway, even if it wasn't coming out, we probably should have been doing this for, for years and years anyway. So, and some do, but I'm just saying, like, for every single buyer client, this is how I work. We got to meet. Here's my presentation. Here, sign this. That type of thing. So, but no, good question. So now I've built, and please, if you have anything else, please unmute yourself. So now we have this presentation. You will see it went from, I think it was 13. Well, I think it was 13 pages. So now it's 39. And every page is you'll see all this test WWBP is the presentation I brought in from ERA. And then these pages there's the picture I added of the, of our office, but the picture you added, and then it just continues with the map where you're actually going to start looking for the properties that I showed you. So now our presentation just became a lot bigger. And of course, I'm going to show you, I want to view this, and then I actually want to go in and make some changes to that second half. But you can see every one of these pages has this pencil where you can edit it. So because we said, hey, let's make these editable. So every one of these pages is in here. Of course, these pages are the pages you would have updated prior. We don't want to bring it in, like, we don't want to bring this page in here, if we didn't do our headshot, or if we're not going to do a page. Or even if you decide right now, like, I brought this page in, I really don't like it, I don't want it, whatever, just know that you can X out anything. So if I remove it, it's gone. So that page is gone. So you can still make, updates to this. But before I actually go in and kind of update that back half, I'm going to just hit view. So right kind of at the top of the presentation, there's this view, and I want to do web. And it's going to build this little presentation. And now, so this is what your client sees. If you have not used Present at this point, so that your client will see this exact presentation look exactly like this on their computer, on their iPad, on their phone. They do not need to make smaller, make bigger, whatever. It customizes to any tool or any electronic device that they're on. And this is what they see. So now it's, like the background picture, like I said, whatever you did, but, starting to be customized to you. They see your name. And now, obviously, this is not a page I would leave in there, but I kind of wanted to leave it just to show you, hey, and that, but I can delete it. And now the presentation just starts with, you know, this is a page I updated. This is a page that, you know, I didn't have to do anything with. And when I scroll down to the end of this, somewhere right here, you know, so these are pages that are these are tools that are available to you to help a buyer. So, you know, so you're going to kind of know what's on this, and you're going to be ready to talk about it as you're going down through. And then that's the last page. So this next page, you know, is the listing location map. You'll see no properties. Well, that's because I skipped it. So, you know, and you'll see the rest of this presentation is blank. So what I'm going to do is try to get rid of this. I hate the little menu at the top of the Zoom that goes away sometimes. So I'm actually going to come back here, and I am going to go back to search. So you'll see subject, property, search, where, you know, to the left of this page is, I'm going to hit search, and it's going to bring me back to this page. So you can do this prior and then upload your, you know, it doesn't matter. I just kind of wanted to show you, you know, this thing is, you know, you can update it consistently. So now I'm actually just going to do, let me just do a quick draw. So I'm going to hit, you know, you can do any zip, you can see city, address, neighborhood, zip, price, bed, bath. So if you're doing this for someone, you know what they're looking for, you're going to do that, you know, you're going to take that time just to kind of do this quick. I did a quick draw. I'm going to just draw a circle, see what houses come up. All right, so some houses came up. So, you know, and again, this is you doing the search for your folks. So you know exact. I'm just going to grab some properties. I'm going to kind of grab these three. At least they're in the same price range. So I just grabbed 3 properties. And those they're in my price, you know, my folks' price range. They're in the area they want, you know, whatever that is. So I just grabbed 3. And I'm going to scroll down and hit continue. And you'll be able to, you know, see on this page once it loads, like you can add more listings, you can add a custom listings, you can, you know, change the order of them, you know, whatever you want on this page. You know, you can, you know, just click, you guys just click around and check them out. But I'm kind of keeping this simple for you guys, like, you know, for my clients. This one I'm just going to buzz through and do. So now as I hit continue through, you know, whether you add something here. So this estimated market range. So we looked at 3 properties. You know, the cheapest one is 589.9. Then they go up, but I'm actually going to just continue through this. I didn't want to change any of that. So now just kind of picture this presentation for your buyers. So we have 26 pages, and whether you deleted some or not, you have the whole ERA buyer presentation that you've customized. And then you have you have listing info that these are the houses you're looking for. Here's what's available. You can have 30 houses in that, if there are probably not 30 available, I know, but just to show you the potential. You can have 1 house or 30. You know, I could have clicked on 30 houses and added every one of them. I just did 3 just to kind of do it quicker. So you'll see now we have this presentation. It's 38 pages long. Now let's go look at it and just kind of picture sending this to your buyer, or when they do come in to meet with you, or you meet with them wherever, you know, you're going to have this maybe on your iPad or computer, and then be able to send it to them. So I'm going to hit view again and do the same. You know, I like the web because it's live, you know, and actually I'll show you now when I say it's live, just how live it is. Again, they're on their phone, which is probably where they're going to be on this. At least the initial one might be on their phone. But even if they're on their iPad or laptop, you know, whatever, you know, what they see. So I'm going to scroll through. This is just that presentation. So I'm going to kind of skip all that and try to get to what we just updated. Okay, so I think this is the last page right here. So now, that's our ERA presentation that we updated and created. But now look, this page was blank the last time we looked at it. But now the 3 homes I picked, here's the map of them. You'll see, like, they're highlighted. When I have the mouse over this first home, you'll kind of see that 674 in the map gets highlighted. Like, oh, that's where that one is. 674 in this Greenway Lane, in this Greenway, obviously, now I look at the addresses, they're obviously in the same neighborhood, but you'll see like those 2 highlight and then this Cordoba is the one that's on the lower left. So that's just one page. And when I say this is interactive, this map, like I'm going to just click the map and hold my mouse down. And like, you can just make this out bigger. You can like, oh, sorry, that did page. You like, this is, you can change the satellite view. Like, they're doing this, like we're doing this as just as a test, but they are actually being able to do this when they're looking at it. They can, zoom in to, to the houses that are available. So now I'm moving so, I mean, obviously the satellite's a little old because they were building houses there, but, you can see like, so maybe you wouldn't, if they did, it is what it is. But if I go back to the map, you're gonna see like, okay, there are the 2 houses, this one's on this side of the street, whatever. So again, just knowing that this is an interactive map, and then this just keeps going, so now I can, get all the list. There's the house, here's the full listing description, all the pictures all the way across, so it's everything that's in the MLS, you'll be able to see. So, and then let me close out of that one. The next page, this is probably one of my favorite pages, side by side. So you'll see when I scroll down the details of the houses, the pictures and the address stay static. So I'll be able to, I can scroll all the way down through and get to this one. It was like, okay, that one is 673. That one is 640, and all the way down through. And then as I just go through, just the info that just continues to be there. So, just the idea of us being able to send this presentation or show this presentation to a potential buyer, is really the important piece. It's really the, sort of, okay, what can we do? What can we do to stand out with a potential client? And I'm telling you, Moxie Present is it. So it really, it's so cool to look and do one of these yourself. Just throw one together, even if you don't take the time right away to bring in the buyer's presentation that you haven't done it yet. Get in here, create a buyer presentation. It'll just be this bottom half. Throw in 2 listings and then send it to yourself. And open the email on your phone. Open the email on your computer. Just like, okay, so these are what this is what a client would see when they get it. Do you like it? Do you not? What would you want to change? Like whatever. So it's so cool when you get it. I love doing it on my phone because it just it really looks good on your phone. And it's so easy, and they have access to this, whether it's the whole presentation or maybe they scroll down to this bottom half. They have access to this on the way to listings, on the way to one of the listings. If you're actually showing them, they have access to it during, and they have access to it after. So it's just so cool that it's a live tool, and it's live for them for next week. They can click on it and still open the same presentation. So that is, and I'm going to show you one more thing, and then certainly can just, answer any questions. So we added this as a PDF, but I did show you when you click add a page and do create new, there's this build a page. Like, so this is just a one-off page. And I love this as well. Like, you truly want to stand out. There's just, you know, different formats. So you can have one big blank page. You can have, you know, this one's maybe a heading or a little biography, and then two, you know, what do you want to put in these two boxes? So maybe this one is a map of Cincinnati and maybe a video of Cincinnati, or, you know, whatever you wanted to do in this, you can do. So I'm going to just take 2 seconds to show you guys this. So you can add text, an image, obviously video, or more. So, and you guys can just kind of play with this. I actually do have videos of actually from Moxie that I'll post on the hub. Maybe I'll attach it to this, that are you know, kind of go in a little bit more detail. But this can be just a single page that, you know, that you you know, add into your presentation. So just think, you know, I mean, you know, just adding an image, you know, let me just do this one real quick. So, you know, so let's, you know, whatever this picture, you know, they're going to be in Indian Hill, and there's a, you know, something in Indian Hill that you want to just add some pictures to, or they're going to be in Fort Myers Beach, and you want to add some pictures and videos, you know, of Fort Myers Beach, like, you know, whatever you know, are kind of thinking. So let me just save this quick. Oh, you know what, since we're in Cleveland, but you know, whatever you wanted to name the page, because it's kind of what's going to show up. And I'm going to hit save. So let me close out of this. There's the page. So now, 2 seconds, let me just go back to the view. Presentation. So here's the first page, your picture. So you just added a page in whatever you wanted to add. Obviously, I just wrote test, but you know, your blurb or whatever you wanted to add, you know, what it's like to live in Cincy or Fort Myers Beach, or whatever you wanted to, if you wanted to. And then this one was sort of made for like sort of another picture, another video on the right, but we just did you know, we kind of added a quick new page. So that's page 2. And then it continues with the rest of the presentation. So you can add a page in the beginning, at the end, in the middle, wherever you want, you know, to kind of keep this customized and take it to whatever level you want. And you can add 10 more pages if you want. Again, whatever kind of value you want to show. But, you know, things like that, just really, I can't stress, like, just think about if that was you. I mean, if you know, we like, you know, Tom Ferry and, you know, Dan Elser, everyone's like, well, if you weren't an agent, who would you want to represent you? And it's like, well, if someone sent me, you know, printouts from the MLS, and then someone sent me a Moxie presentation, you know, I'm sort of leaning towards one or the other. So, you know, just sort of think of it that way. And I'll actually, you know, sort of re-stress the fact that if you do this right now, or kind of do it right the first time, look, you can always change it. You can get in here a week from now, 2 weeks from now, and go, you know, I thought I liked that, but you know, whatever, I want to change it. I want to tweak it a little bit. You know, you can always do that. You know, but kind of building it so that you know, you can learn it and practice it, and then, you know, start using it. You know, do it right the first time, and add, just take the time to do it. And then of course you can just tweak it down the road. So that is what I wanted to show you guys. Does anyone have any questions? Do you want to see something that, you know, I should say re-see something that you know, that I showed you. But I'll pause for a minute and see if anybody has anything. All right. Well, hopefully it was helpful. Like I said, it is being recorded. So if anyone has, wants to rewatch it, or it'll be in the Agent Hub later today, probably tomorrow at the latest. Well, thank you guys so much for joining, and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Wayne. You too.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.